Hello and welcome back to video number 2 on chapter 4, lesson 10. I'm now on page 182, so go ahead and join me, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll get right to work. Remember, focus, can-do attitude, take initiative, listen carefully. You can always pause or rewind these videos at any point throughout. All right, and obviously, don't forget, raise your hand if you have a question. Omar has 287 photographs of animals. That's a lot of animal pictures. If he wants to put the photos into 2 groups of the same size, again, there's another one of those key words that tells us it's division. Equally, equal amount, same size. How many photos will be in each group? That's our question. So, let's get to it. Step 1, use place value to place the first digit. Look at the hundreds in 287. 200s can be shared between 2 groups. So the first digit of the quotient will be in the hundreds place. Let me get my pen for this. It's always so difficult to write on here, but I'll do my best. Hundreds. Oh, this is not pretty. Hundreds place. Yes, that is supposed to be an H at the beginning, not an N. Maybe. Sorry about that, guys. Hundreds place. If you need spelling that is legible, you can look right here. Okay, divide the hundreds. So, again, we're looking at it one number at a time when we do this strategy. So first, can 2 go into 2? Yes, it goes in 1 time. 1 times 2 is 2. And then we subtract and we get 0. Okay, step 2, bring down. So we bring down the 8. How many times does 2 go into 8? 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract and we get 0. Okay, step 4, bring down the 7. How many times does 2 go into 7? 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract gives us 1. Nothing left to bring down, so that 1 becomes our remainder. Okay, so there will be 143 photos. 140, oh my goodness, 3 in each group with 1 photo left over. Now again, if we're talking about interpreting remainders, we would leave this remainder as a 1 because we wouldn't want to rip that last picture in half and say that they have 143 and a half photos on each page. Because again, it's a photo, you wouldn't want to rip a picture in half. So 143 photos in each group and 1 left over. Okay, we can fill in our information here as well. So divide the tens. So we're dividing 8 tens divided by 2. And then we multiply 8 tens by 2. Subtract 8 tens minus 8 tens. And we get 0 left. Here we're dividing the 1, so 7 divided by 2, multiply 7 times 2, and then we subtract, I'm sorry, 3 times 2. Sorry about that. So we get 7, oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. 7 minus 6. And that's how we get our 1 left over. Okay, let me do another one off to the side here. Go ahead and you can write this one down on your scratch paper as well. But I just want to do another example problem. So let's say I had 152 divided by 3. Okay, I could rewrite that with the 3 on the outside, 152 underneath. And again, I look at the first number first. So can 3 go into just the 1? No, 3 is bigger than 1, so it can't go in evenly. Then I look at the next number included. So now I'm thinking of this as 15 now. Can 3 go into 15? Yeah, if we count by our 3s, 3 goes into 15. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So that was 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. Subtract gives me 0. Bring down the 2. And then I divide again. 3 goes into 2. 3 is bigger than 2, so it goes in. This is key. A lot of students want to just leave this blank, but 3 goes into 2 0 times. 0 times 3 is 0. Subtract gives me 2. Nothing left to bring down, so I have a remainder of 2. Okay? All right, let me do one more example like this. Okay, and oh, you know what? Let me write down the steps. So step 1, you're going to divide. Okay, yes, that is a V. Divide. Step 2, you multiply. Okay, step 3, subtract. Step 4, bring down. And then step 5, repeat. Meaning you go back to the first step. You go back to step 1. Okay, so let me show that in action now, okay? So let's say we have the problem, let's go, I'm just going to pick a random number here, 223 divided by 7. Okay, so I look, can 7 go into the 2? So I'm looking to divide first, right? Divide. Can I divide 7 into 2 equally? No, 7's bigger than 2, so 7 won't fit into 2 equally. So then I extend it to the next number, 22. Will 7 go into 22? Yes, so again, I'm still on the divide step. I'm still trying to divide. How many times will 7 go into 22? Well, let's count by 7s and see how many 7s we can count up until we get close to 22 without going over. 7, 14, 21. So that was 3 7s. Now I'm going to go to the multiplication. So that was dividing. Now I'm going to multiplication. 3 times 7 is 21. That was step 2. Now I go to step 3, subtract. So I'm going to subtract 22 minus 21. That gives me 1. Then I go to step 4, bring down the next number. And then I repeat. So I go back and I divide, and I'm dividing again. Now I'm dividing the 7 into the number that I just wrote, the 13. How many times does 7 go into 13 without going over? Well, 7, 14. Oh, already if I go to 2 7s, I'm at 14, which is bigger than 13. So 7 can only go into 13 one time. Then I go back to step 2, multiply that 1 that I just wrote, just this 1, times the 7 is 7. Step 3 says subtract now, so I subtract. I get 6. Nothing left to bring down for step 4. Since there's nothing left to bring down, that becomes my remainder. So my answer, my quotient is 31, remainder 6. Okay, again, if you need to rewatch the video to get the steps down, go for it. I would probably write the steps down on a piece of scratch paper. That way you have the steps if you need to reference back to them, okay? And remember, don't hesitate to raise your hand if you have a question, okay? Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video. End show. Discard my annotations. And stop.